right, and here we go. We are in the match. Okay, so we are spectating from Gold47 standpoint. Leads it off with the crest of order. Got Vargo Redclaw on top. All right, Soko on the top, playing a pair of crests on their fun Stranger deck here. So let's take a look at Gold47's hand. Got some early removal in Hailstorm, which if Soko goes into the Strangers, that's going to be really effective. Interesting decision here. Gold sees Ikaria on top of the deck, one of the most powerful cards in the entire deck, but has to put it on the bottom because it's a little too early for that 7-drop. Soko just keep playing out those crests. So we'll probably see this a lot tonight. We've got a lot of depleted power, come into power, play depleted, building up to the more powerful plays later in the game, the 4-drops, the 5-drops, the 6-drops. We might not see a lot of things in the 1, 2, 3 turns of the game. But Gold is the first one to play a Merchant out here, and is going to go ahead and get that power. Already has 2 other power in hand, but going ahead and get that 6th power. Shows you how important that power base is, hitting all your land drops. All right, and Soko's going to play off that first Stranger. So in Gold47's hand, Gold's got a Howling Peach, incredible powerful card in Howling Peak. Also got a Jawbone Greatsword. Plays out the Vargo. So Vargo's ability is that it can't be killed except by damage or loss of health. So what that means is that Harsh Rule, not going to kill it. Slay, not going to kill it. Need to kill it in combat or with a damage spell. No play by Soko on that turn. Leaves Gold with a 2-2 and a 5-4 on the board. Looking a little bit ahead, but to this point, neither player has missed a power drop. Ooh, but an ambush here into the attack is going to be able to double block and take down that Vargo. And Gold does not have anything in hand to deal with that at this point. Going to play a crest. He's going to leave that sigil on top. That's power number 7. Wow, interesting play here. Not necessarily intentional, but because Vargo died that turn on the Greatsword, triggers Tribute and is able to draw an 8-6 Brand Without Fear in addition to the 5-2 Greatsword. But Soko's going to handle that sword with a Disrupt, killing an enemy relic and then dropping a Blight Pass Smuggler. But down to 1 card in hand, whereas Gold is sitting on these 6 cards, including a Howling Peak, which is just an incredible card here. Just so much power packed into this one site here. The way that these sites work, if you know about Magic, they're probably most similar to Planeswalkers. You play them out. They have 4, I don't know what you would call that. Is that a durability? You got the 4 durability here. Ooh, so Soko draws a 7-drop there, pretty big. And they come with 3 spells, and then you use 1 each turn, and when you've used all 3 spells, you're able to play a really powerful unit. So just so much punch packed into those. And here you go. Gold is going to fire off the Howling Peak this turn. The first spell he's going to choose is to play a copy of a unit, another 8-6 Overwhelm. Chooses to sacrifice it to give this one Overwhelm. But Soko's going to play Necessary Measures and kills an enemy unit. Kills an enemy unit if it's their only unit, because that was Gold's only unit, is able to take that down and then has the Smuggler to attack here, presumably attacking the site. Not going to kill the site, not enough damage with that 1 attack, but it's going to go ahead and take it down there with the 1 strength. Going to give it Berserk, let it attack twice. Now it's Reckless. Knock the site down to 2, but that's not going to destroy it. Gold is going to choose the Caleb's Favor to deal 2 damage and draw power, as opposed to using the gun down to kill the Smuggler. Doesn't care about that Smuggler here, because has a unit to block. It's going to go ahead and play the Goad to give it +0/+2 and flying, making a 4/7 flyer, as well as a 4/6 Warcry. And Navani's Warcry affects every unit and weapon in the deck. So when Navani attacks, it's going to give +1/+1 to every single unit and weapon in Gold's deck. Smuggler has to attack. Pretty easy block for Gold here. Just going to go ahead and eat that unit. Keeps the Howling Peak at 2. Another Smuggler here. Because of the Onslaught, it's actually going to get Aegis and give himself Aegis as well, which could be relevant in this game. Although still pretty far behind on board. It's going to have to make a big comeback here. Even though the life totals are high, 25 to 20. Ooh, another merchant there. It looks like Gold is in a commanding position with 2 more powerful units and an active sight. It's going to use the gun down mode, the last mode of the Howling Peak, to take down the merchant that did not have the Aegis. It's going to throw the contraband to the bottom, going to attack with both units. Knocks Soco down to 12. It's going to go ahead and play Strategize here. Draws a harsh roll. Probably not going to want to play that here. But also draws a reread, drawing a spell from your void. Oh, thanks for the raid, Gabby. Welcome everyone who was watching Gabby's stream. Much appreciated. Welcome into the tournament. Let's give a welcome to the Viper Brood. Thank you everyone for joining us in this tournament. We are welcome to round 1 on this Singleton tournament. This is round 1, game 1, so you're just in time to see this fun tournament in full. You got Gold47 on the bottom here with a pretty commanding position. Has an active sight with now 4 powerful units. Soco on the back foot with 1 card in hand, a 3-2 and a 2-2, and only a 12 life. It's going to have to make some blocking here because Gold is attacking 4 lethal. It's going to go ahead and double block the 4-4. But Gold is going to go ahead and pump +4/+4 on his flyer, which is going to be 12 damage, unblocked, and it's going to be lethal for the game. So game 1 is going to go to Gold47. All right, welcome back, everyone, and welcome everybody from the Viper Brood that just joined. We are welcome to have you here, whether you are a Magic fan, an Eternal fan, someone who just loves watching streams. You are very welcome here with us. Tonight we are doing a Singleton tournament. So we've got 10 competitors playing 4 rounds of Swiss in a Singleton decks. So these decks are a little bit bigger than Magic decks. They're 75 card decks, but they are Singleton. So you have 1 copy of every non-power, non-land card. We're taking it down. These matches are 2 out of 3. So that was game 1 of round 1. And it looks like we're ready for game 2. Gold47 up a game. So here we see Gold is going to take a mulligan here. The way that mulligans work in Eternal, the way that redraws work is a little bit different from Magic. You get your opening 7, and you can throw that back for a free mulligan for another 7. Has some guaranteed power in there. And then if you don't like that, you get 1 kind of emergency mulligan down to 6. And if you do that, you have to stay with your 6. Thank you for that. I appreciate that, Harriet. Here you go. All right, so Gold47 is going to lead off with a Seek Power. He's got a pretty strong hand here. He's got a Vargo on 4, and the strongest card in his deck, Ikaria, on 7 there. Soco going to go ahead and play out one of the Strangers. Gold's going to answer with a Seraph. So Seraph is a 0/5 legendary, and it has an activated ability that says pay 5 and twist Seraph, so +1/-1 to make it a 1/4, and play a random unit with her strength and give it double damage. So first time you do it, you'll play a 1 strength unit, make it double damage, then 2, then 3, then 4, as Seraph is also getting more powerful. Soko's going to play a Seek Answers here to choose a power or non-power card from your deck. Interesting choice here. Not sure if they're going for a power or non-power. You could see it either way. It really depends on what the quality of their hand is. If they're flooded, they may be looking for some action, or they may be just looking to hit their power drops and go ahead and it's a nice way to make sure that you always hit your power drops by playing that. So Gold here, powerful 4-drop we talked about, powerful 7-drop. If you haven't seen Ikaria before, I don't know where you've been, but maybe you're not familiar with the game. One of the highlight cards of the game, Ikaria the Liberator. It's a 5/5 flying, Aegis, Charge, Endurance, Warcry 5 for 7. Pretty unbeatable unit. Once it gets down on board, it's a little expensive, and it has restrictive power, having 3 Fire and 3 Justice in order to cast it. But once you do, pretty unbeatable. It gives the next top weapon or unit of your deck +5/+5, which even if they then answer the Ikaria, you're able to get a buffed unit after that. Also has a strong weapon in the Greatsword, as well as a Display of Honor, which gives you a choice of whether to give your units +4/+4 in lifesteal, one of your units +4/+4 in lifesteal, drawing 2 weapons from your void, or to transform an enemy unit into a 2/1 goat. Gold sees an Avigraph there on the top of his deck, which is a removal for a non-flyer. Let's go ahead and put that on the bottom. Doesn't want the removal here. Going to depend on the strength of his units. Also has decent removal in Permafrost, which can permanently stun a unit, as well as the weapon, the Greatsword, and the 5/2. Soako plays out an Amarin Camel, which is when you draw a card, you gain 1 health. Pretty simple ability, but pretty effective. At least 1 every single turn. But could be more if you can draw multiple cards. And then it's going to play out a Feln Stranger. Really fix that power. Can cast pretty much anything in their deck now, making sure that their colors are not an issue. It's going to play Find the Way to draw a sigil of their deck depleted. So just making sure that they have all the power across all their colors. Now they just need to find some action. Gold having a lot of strong plays in their hand, but actually missing the power drop. It's going to be the first one to miss their power drop here. It's going to attack with the 5/4 Vargo. It's going to get double blocked, and it's going to blow up this double block with a +4/+4 lifesteal, making it a 9/8 lifesteal. Going to eat 2 units, a nice solid 2 for 1 there, as well as a bunch of life gained, and keeping Vargo on the field. As we said last game, it's going to be tough to remove Vargo because it cannot be killed except by damage or loss of health. So you can kill it in combat, you can kill it with a burn spell, but no targeted kill spells, no wraths. Nothing's going to take care of that 5/4 except for damage. Really high life totals here. You know, what we thought we'd see in Singleton, 34, 29. Life totals kind of go in the wrong direction here, but both players really just trying to set up their plays, play some powerful cards, and then eventually overpower their opponent. Gold again, just going to keep attacking with this 5/4. Even though Soako's at 30, this is going to put on a clock until he can deal with it. What Gold really wants to do here, though, is find some power drops. Really wants to get up to this 6 and 7 mana plays. It's actually going to toss Ikaria into the market to trade it for a power. Now can get Ikaria later, can get it back with the Howling Peak Smuggler or one of the other smugglers or merchants. So Ikaria is not gone for good, but really needed to get that power. Soako here going to go to the market on their own with their Winchest Merchant. Grab a Justice card from their market. He's going to play another Smuggler to get something else from the market. Really sculpting. You can see the power of the market here, especially in Singleton, playing out these merchants and these smugglers to draw the specific cards you need, the specific action you need. Pretty aggressive attack here. Going to go ahead and attack the 2/2 and the 2/3 into this board, with an 0/5 Seraph here. Not really respecting that 5/4 Vargo here. Well, Royal Decree for gold can transform a non-power card of the enemy hand into a Seek Power. Can essentially remove that card from the game. The Onslaught effect, which would be transform every other copy, of course, does not have that big of an effect in this tournament because of the nature of Singleton. That mode is pretty much useless, but still powerful to take one card, the best card out of your opponent's hand. Soako drawing a 7-drop here. Pretty big 7-drop dinosaur. One of the things Gold has going for him, though, here is the ability to just activate Seraph over and over again. Not even need to playing a card from their hand and getting some units out here for free. Essentially free without spending a card from their hand. Soako's going to attack here with the 2/2 flyer in the air. Going to keep Gold honest. Keep knocking that life total down little by little. Gold's going to fire off that Royal Decree, and we know that Soako has the 7-drop dinosaur at least. And Soako's going to call it a day, going to concede that one. So we got 2-0 2-0 for Gold.